Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, the law is quite clear on this matter in Nigeria. The law is against it, but opinions in Nigeria differ. Guys, I bring you this. Nigerian writer recalls when his mother tried to get him arrested after he came out as gay. So yes, the law in Nigeria is proscribes same-sex couples. So the law is quite clear in Nigeria, but then of course opinions differ. A lot of people are quite set in their opinions about same-sex sexuality, but then there are reports that even in the animal kingdom, same-sex couples, same-sex sexuality is quite commonplace. So amongst the giraffes, it has been identified, sheep, they show traces of this, and countless animals show traces of this. Even an albatross shows signs of this. The bonobo monkey from the monkey family, from the ape monkey type family, they show signs of this. So the point that I am making essentially is that same-sex couples, same-sex sexuality is an innate thing, is a instinctual thing, and it is a natural thing. But then of course a lot of people are opposed to this from a religious perspective. So that is the controversy now that continues to rage not just in Nigeria but in several other countries as well, where opinions are quite set and firm on this particular matter. Again, the headline: Nigerian writer recalls when his mother tried to get him arrested after he came out as gay. So now let's now see how the chap describes this. Nigerian writer Vincent Desmond has recalled when his mother attempted to get him arrested when he came out to her as gay. Desmond, who writes for Reuters, British Vogue, amongst other publications, made the revelation in a tweet on Saturday, January the 2nd. Every now and then I remember that when I came out as gay to my mom, she tried to get me arrested, he wrote. So this is now this chap now coming out now with this matter. Not coming out, but making public this matter. Is just the language really. When you're dealing with this particular topic, you have to be delicate and precise. So this is what he has tweeted out. But then of course he is a Nigerian, and the response should be interesting. So now let's just now capture some of the responses that this now simple tweet has garnered. So this is an Emmanuel Kachi that is responding. Let love lead. I respect your feelings. So a thing in support, and this let love lead, I respect your feelings, is really what you will find the general response to this sort of a thing within the Nigerian space. Because as much as you would like to imagine that is to the contrary, Nigerians are actually quite accepting of this sort of a thing. So if that is your way, then that is your way, so long as harm is not being caused, and so long as all the parties involved are within the age of consent, then a lot of people have this live and let live sort of like approach to this sort of thing. But the louder echoes that you hear are the dissenting echoes of either religious fervor or political gain making by elements who have vested interest in being fervently opposed to this sort of like a manifestation, that they make a real hue and cry about their opposition, and that is what echoes loudest within the social space. But this now by this chap Emmanuel Kachi, let love lead, I respect your feelings, is probably the generality of the feelings towards same-sex coupling within the Nigerian space. So let's go on to another commentator and let's see if he or she makes a lie or truth of what I've just said. So this is Achidi is the name of this next person. Achidi, the handle. Of course she tried to get you arrested because she couldn't wrap her head around the taboo you spewed. The LGBTQ community should stop portraying themselves as victims each time they talk. You are going against the law of nature. Don't expect hugs and kisses. Give people time. If they embrace you, fine. If they don't, let them be. They are not your enemies. They don't just support you. So now a very complex opinion, but a very popular opinion as well. So let's just unpick now what this Achidi has said. He says of course, she tried to get you arrested because she couldn't wrap her head around the taboo you just spewed. So let's leave the taboo out of it and just go with the first half of what he said. So what he is saying is that the mom's visceral response was that she was caught off guard by this now bombshell of a revelation that her son now has not now just presented her with. So now let's just go into that a bit more. And by the way, let's just locate it within its natural setting, within its natural environment. We're talking about a Nigerian setting, an African setting, and with a name like Vincent Desmond, we can speculate that this is an Igbo person. So we're talking about an Igbo mom, and by the way, you know how much they price the male child within the Igbo society. Of course, they price the male child within a lot of societies, but especially they price the male child within the Igbo society. So here is a woman now that has been nurturing this now young man from a not even from a young age, but from birth, with all of the hopes and dreams that she would have vested within him, and all of the thoughts and dreams that she would have had for his future. Dreams of grandparenthood pretty much start when a woman gives birth, because as soon as a woman gives birth, especially I'm not even going to say especially within the African society, pretty much within every society, as soon as a woman gives birth, she's already fast forwarding the life of that child to the point that that child becomes a parent, and then she gets to become a grandparent. So this is the dreams, these are the dreams and hopes that women especially, but of course both parents, vest within their children. They nurture the children with the hope and dreams that they become parents in the future too, and they get to partake then in that journey with them. So now if this guy is now coming out as how he has come out as somebody with a same-sex preference, then that immediately just jettisons and shatters those dreams, because of course now the woman from her understanding, I am speculating of course, from her understanding would immediately presume that the prospects of her becoming a grandparent has now come to an end. That is of course not the case, because of course there are ways around that, but her immediate thought would not be to go to that. So this is why this person said, of course she tried to get you arrested because she couldn't wrap her head around what you said. So he went on to say, or she went on to say, the LGBTQ community should stop portraying themselves as victims every time they talk. So a lot of people might well empathize with that particular comment. I am not saying that I weigh either way. I am just a neutral commentator in this particular matter, but a lot of people might well have some sympathy with that particular comment. So he goes on to say that you are going against the law of nature, but then of course we've already established that it is not actually against the law of our nature, because it is also found in the animal kingdom, and the animal kingdom of course is very instinctual by their nature. So we leave that. So that's just that comment, quite interesting. So we go on to another commentator. Dark Fish is the person commenting here. Dark Fish, he says Big Daddy Aliko gist never reach. So Big Daddy Aliko gist never reach. So this person of course is saying, are you not satiated with the rumors of Aliko and his many American girlfriends, that you are now reaching to this story to further even more? So Anonymous, the next commentator, illiterates always have so much to say. He is gay, it is natural. Homophobes are the deranged ones. So I mean, that comment stands on its own merit. It stands on or fall on its own merit. So we go on to another anonymous. No sane parent/parents will appreciate their child being of a same-sex preference. So I am just choosing my language around this particular topic, but then of course I think you can fully understand what that person actually said. So no sane parent/parents will appreciate their child being of a same-sex preference. So that is that person's own particular view. So I'm not sure if it's anything to do with sanity, but I think the expectation of most parents would not be, or the want and desires of most parents would not be that their child be that way inclined. But then if their child is then that way inclined, how they then manage that and are accepting of that is the next stanza of that particular narrative. So this person goes on, you were born to make them happy, not sad. So please kindly retrace your steps and change the things whilst you're still alive. So I'm not quite sure what to make of that. So we just move on. Chikala, the next person to speak. Chikala, I can never understand how you can hate a child that came from your own body because they say they have a same-sex preference. I cannot do it. So this is almost definitely a woman, and from that Chikala, almost certainly an Igbo woman as well. But then somebody goes on to respond to what I'm assuming she. So somebody goes on to respond to what she said. It says, at Chikala, if your mom starts dating your best friend, clap for her, you hear? Don't get angry, oh. Humans are always very selfish and self-centered. You expect his mom to be happy for something unusual. Is she not human? She has feelings and should hurt. No one wish such for an enemy. Talk less of one's own son. So that is that person's response to what this Chikala has to say. I think I am going to be rounding it off with probably this next comment. Anonymous is the last commentator, not the last commentator on this thread, but the last comment that I am going to read. May your children also become of a same-sex preference, so you know how it feels. So this is another response, maybe the same responder, but certainly another response to Chikala's position. So quite interesting is really what I am just trying to highlight here, the Nigerian environment, and this is an evolving now subculture within the Nigerian society. So the LGBTQ community is certainly alive and kicking within the Nigerian environment. There's absolutely no doubts about that, and especially in the northern region, there's a lot of same-sex coupling there, but then they cover it up. But in the southern regions, where the thinking is more enlightened and more liberal, they are more rather open with their sexuality. So this is now a man now coming out in the public space to narrate his experience with his own mother, no less a person, when he came out to her regarding his sexuality. So this is the subject matter of this particular video, this young man's experience. So I am now inviting you, and please keep the language civilized. Don't go down the route of acting like some brainless buffoon. So let's keep the language civilized, but let's have a conversation around this particular topic that this young man, Vincent something or the other, has now opened up within the Nigerian space. He's not opening up the subject, but he's now come out with his own particular narrative. So we're going to now use his narrative as a subject matter to discuss this particular point. So what we're talking about really is sexuality within the Nigerian space and how the Nigerian society is grappling with it. So a very sensitive topic, high falutin, high functioning, high octane sort of a topic, but the language I think can be intelligently used to address it, and I would like to now invite opinions on this. So I don't weigh one way or the other on this particular matter, but if you were to push me to the wall and force an opinion out of me, what I will say is, so long as nobody is getting hurt, and so long as the two of them are consenting, then good luck to them. It is not my particular choice of lifestyle, but then of course, who am I to impose my choice of lifestyle on anyone else? As much as I would resist to death them trying to impose that lifestyle on me, they also have that right to conversely resist us, or I rather, I can't say us because I don't know everybody's sexuality, but they also have the right to defend their right to be the way they are. So if you get that logic, but no, it is not my first choice or even second choice or even a choice at all in terms of matters. But then of course I don't take a really solid aggressive position against it in any way at all. So live and let live. If you forced an opinion out of me, is how I would weigh. But how do you weigh is the question. Come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section. But before you come share those thoughts, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, we're deviating from our heavy diet of politics and we're discussing matters of sexuality. So come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.